Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and in today's video let's have a look at the Thrustmaster Airbus side stick and the best sensitivity setting that we can use together with the FlyByWire A320neo. Now, before we start, first of all, a very quick explanation on what the sensitivity setting actually is. We can find it right here in the control options when we search for the joystick in question. For example, you can see all my sticks connected here, and here's the Thrustmaster A320 stick. And up here in the sensitivity, you can see my current settings, which are still based on flying the Phoenix A320. Now, Phoenix recommended -30 setting, and that actually worked pretty well with the Thrustmaster Airbus stick. Now, let's have a look into how that's going to work with the FlyByWire A320. What the sensitivity does is basically that when moving the physical hardware of the stick, the actual input is going to be slightly manipulated by the software, and a setting of -30, like we have it over here, for example, makes the stick less sensitive in the small or close to the dead zone settings, and then more sensitive when we reach out for complete pull or push on the stick, like right now. So basically you get a weaker input when using a negative setting in the beginning, and a stronger input when using a positive setting. Now we're going to start with the Phoenix recommended settings over here, and we will see how that is going to go. So let's go straight back into our simulator here, and we are going to start our takeoff run. What is worth saying over here is that one possible philosophy for approaching this would obviously be to synchronize the stick that you got in the cockpit with the movement of your physical stick standing right next to you. That is an approach that I used a lot with my Boeing Yoke, especially back in the day in P3D using the FSU IPC software. And that actually generally provided very good flight dynamics. Alright, so let's go ahead and take off, and then we're going to have a look into the settings as we can use them with our stick right now. So, take off. You start with like half side stick forward. Okay, Manflex 72, SS runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. So now we are approaching 80 knots, and from 80 knots we slowly but steadily let go of the stick until we reach neutral position by 100 knots. If you've got tailwind, you would use a full forward side stick input. Alright then, V1 rotate, pull back, and the nose should come up pretty quickly when you start pulling on the stick. And indeed with a -30 setting it seems to do. So, positive climb, gear up, and now let's play a little bit with the settings. I'm just using a minor input on my stick right now into the forward direction, and the nose does start to come down rather slowly, but I kinda don't feel entirely happy with it. If we do a little bit of left and right in order to feel what it feels like, that on the other hand side feels pretty good at this point. So, pulling the nose up again does seem to work rather well. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is we are going to head right back into the settings, into the control options, and it looks like that -30 sensitivity that we had as a leftover from our Phoenix is a little bit too much for it. So let's go ahead and just start at 0, because that is most likely what they actually designed it for. Alright, so 0 sensitivity, apply and save, go back, resume, and off we go. Alright, so that was pretty quick nose down here, but we're probably just gonna get used to it. So slight pull back, and the nose is indeed coming up slightly. Slight push forward, the nose is slightly coming forward, but overall we're getting a much better response from the airplane already. But I do feel that it is a little bit over responsive right now, so while retracting the flaps over here, let's go ahead and just add a little bit of sensitivity back in our settings in order to start fine-tuning it. So once again, controls, Airbus stick is selected already, sensitivity. So we had -30, we had 0, well, -0, okay, don't quote me on that one, it's late. So let's try -15 and see what that looks like. So apply and save, go back, resume, and now let's do this. Pulling the stick slightly back in order to start pitching up, and this actually feels pretty good right now. So, in general, in order to fine-tune your Airbus stick, you should be able to achieve the following handling qualities like I just demonstrated. The airplane needs to be able to be flown very precisely. So in the real world you can fly those aircraft down to ½ degree precision. As you can see, if my flight director commands just a slight increase in climb, then by a very small input we need to be able to achieve that like you have just seen. And that is probably the most important piece of information in there. The airplane needs to be able to be flown very, very precisely, because that is exactly how you fly airliners. It's all about the precision in maneuvering your aircraft. And I tend to say that right now with a -15 model we have achieved just that. So this is probably what I'm going to continue using for a little while. Now we are just about catching our target speed. Let's go ahead and pull up very slightly. And you can see this small of an input is what I need to be able to do with my side stick. Now, for me, -15 seems to cut it, so I would recommend you to give that setting a try as well and see how it goes. You can see how precise of a maneuvering I can do just over here by changing the pitch, you know, just ½ degree or something in order to position my airplane as precisely into the flight director as possible. Alright, and that's going to be it for today's video. I do hope you found this one interesting. I do hope that I was able to shed a little bit of light into what sensitivity settings are, how to deal with them, and most importantly, how to get the most out of them. Obviously this video, or the information contained in this video, would not only apply to the Thrustmaster Airbus stick, but you could use this to calibrate any Airbus flight stick. However, I did find that after doing my video on the Phoenix A320 and what felt most realistic on the Phoenix, it would be a good idea to do the same thing on the Thrustmaster with the FlyByWire Airbus as well. I hope you liked this one. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments below and let me know what your favorite settings are. And with that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Be sure to leave a like on YouTube as well, as it does really help out the channel. Leave a comment to let me know what you think, and finally, if you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe. Finally, if you really love what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and see you all again on the next one.